The Washington Commanders are hitting the road with a quick turnaround in a short week as they travel to Green Bay to take on the Packers on Thursday Night Football. And for me, this game ultimately comes down to a battle between two of the best in the league. Let's talk about it. I'm Josh Taylor with A to Z Sports Washington, and week one's wrapped up. Everyone's got that first game under their belt, and I think we could get a little bit of an idea of what these teams could look like in the league, even though it is early. The Commanders' offense was a little rusty in the passing game with Jayden Daniels, but it's okay. The running attack was exactly what we wanted to see, led by croskey-merritt, of course, and Jayden Daniels did his damage with his legs as well. But then with the Packers, on the defensive side of the ball, they had their own test with a new-look Detroit Lions offense. What was it going to look like against one of the best running back duos in the league, if not the best, but Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery? Now, Washington had their own battle with the New York Giants, which is always physical in the NFC East, and the score made it seem a little closer than it actually was when you watch the game and see how much the Commanders actually dominated on defense, but then also established the run. The Washington Commanders actually finished week one with the second most rushing yards in the league, with 220 yards on the ground, behind only Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry up in Baltimore, who just ran the ball all over Buffalo. Now, of course, croskey-merritt finished as the lead rusher with 10 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown, and that 42-yard nail in the coffin at the end of the game. But Jayden Daniels also did his own damage. He finished with 11 carries for 68 yards. Deebo Samuel got one carry, but he made the most of it with an end-around touchdown for 19 yards. And it looks like Washington's really going to have a running back committee with everyone, whether it is your quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. But I think croskey-merritt is eventually going to be the guy. Now, croskey-merritt actually finished as PFF's highest graded rusher in week one. Not just rookie, but the entire NFL. And this whole offense is getting a real test to see if they can actually run the ball as they face a Green Bay Packers run defense, who in my opinion is one of the more underrated units in the entire league, and I'll even call them elite. Now, last season, the Green Bay Packers run defense finished 7th in DVOA, 5th in success rate, and 3rd in yards per carry allowed, but they did get rid of Kenny Clark in that trade for Micah Parsons, so that means their run defense has to be worse this year, right? Well, not exactly. In week one, the Green Bay Packers faced the best running back duo in the league against the Detroit Lions, who have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. But they actually embarrassed that offense. The game was worse than what the score shows on paper. They ran the ball 22 times for only 46 yards. That is not the Detroit offense we're used to seeing. One of the craziest stats I saw from Sunday was that a Packers defender actually hit a Lions ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage on 16 of the 22 carries. That is a 72.7% rate and the highest that Dan Campbell has ever allowed with the Lions. So Devontae Wyatt and Carl Brooks on that defensive line for Green Bay just shutting down run gaps. But then also the off-the-ball linebackers are sticking their nose in the run game at an elite level. So I see Washington using a lot of movement, not only in the passing game, but the running game as well. And they're going to have Adrian Cooper and Quay Walker crashing from that second level. So for me, Washington has to pick up those guys and really open up these lanes, not only for croskey-merritt, but maybe Deebo will get some extra carries and Jayden Daniels running the ball as well. We know the Packers are going to try to bring the pressure with everyone that they have on defense, including Micah Parsons, now even in a limited role, made his presence felt against the Lions. And Jayden Daniels has been elite against the blitz. Except week one, he actually had his lowest passer rating ever. Jayden Daniels went 3 for 9 for only 29 yards whenever the Giants brought the blitz, and had a single game worst passer rating against the blitz at 43.3%. So you know the Packers are going to pin their ears back and try to do the same thing against Jayden. So setting up that run game is more important than it's ever been. Now, of course, it was week one. We're still trying to get things going, trying to make the offense a well-oiled machine, and I think that's going to come in time. But it is a short week. You don't really get too much of a real practice this week. You're traveling on the road. So you have to go off of what you saw week one, and it might take another few weeks for that passing game to really get going. So will the Commanders be able to establish the run and really set the tone in the run game against an underrated and, dare I say, elite run defense in Green Bay? And for me, that is what is ultimately going to decide who wins this game.